Hello, everybody. It's Angela with Happy Little Stitch Shop. And this is Henry. I had to show you guys because he came home. I know you don't really like it. He came home from the groomer yesterday, and it's not on here quite right because it's too big. But he had this little tie on when they got done grooming him yesterday. So he hasn't been on for a little bit. So I thought that I would show you guys Henry with his little tie. And today's Thursday, April 29th, 2021. And again, I'm Angela with Happy Little Stitch Shop, and this is our little dog, Henry. And hello, everybody. Hello, Lynn, Leslie, Debbie, Sharon, Martha, Stacy, Kim, Laura, Sharon, Martha, Lynn. Hello, hello, hello. Martha says, did everyone see the vintage Christmas video Angela put up? I'm so excited to see the finished project. I finally got it out there. I'm going to put Henry down and let him go. But I know you guys sometimes like to see him. And when I'm in the hurry of getting everything ready for the live stream, I oftentimes forget to show Henry. And so here's Henry. I'm going to take this off so that you are safe. And I'm going to put him out. Hold on one second. There you go, my dear. He was basking in the sun when I disrupted him from his warm spot. Hello, Brandy. Hello, Katrina. What a sweet boy. Hello, Dawn. Hello, hello. Oh, good, Debbie. Okay, so this is one of my questions to you guys for these sew along videos. If you guys have feedback of what you would like to see, if you would like to see something different, please let me know. I feel like maybe they're kind of lame. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but if you guys like them and you enjoy them, then I'll keep doing it the way that I'm doing it. My idea was to kind of just have that be a more personal hub instead of just sending you a piece of paper with a stitch along schedule. I wanted it to be kind of a more personal connection with people. And I figured a video on YouTube would be a better way to do that. But it's not really like I'm not showing you how to do anything. It's just kind of a hub for having that stitch along. I don't know if that makes sense. So I feel like it's a little bit lame because it's not like a tutorial. I'm not really showing you anything that's helpful, I don't think. But on the other hand, I feel like it's a more personal approach to a sew along than just posting a schedule or something like that. So give me your feedback about that. Let me know what you think about it. After I got done doing it, I was like, should I even post this? I mean, it feels a little weird, but I kind of like it too. So I'm torn. And so I'm looking for feedback. So let me know what you think. Henry's so mellow. Diego is a little hyper. I remember when we had our little Yorkie stay with us for a while, and that Yorkie's name was Murphy, and Murphy was a little hyper too. Martha, great job. Angela, thanks for going through your tips. You're welcome. Hello, Morgan. Yeah, that was our puppy Henry. They aren't lame at all. It was great. Oh, good. Okay, good. Like, be honest with me. If you feel like it's kind of lame, then I'll try to change it. But it's tricky to do tutorials because a lot of that has already been done, you know, like through Lori's blog. And so it's all out there already if you need help putting together certain things. And, you know, I don't want to infringe on her or on pattern stuff. And so then you're kind of limited with what you're able to show. So I kind of like doing it like this, but I really want to know if you feel like it's not your thing. Hello, Valeria. Thank you so much, my dear. That is very nice of you. Valeria says, #1 fan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I thought it was very helpful to know what fabrics to use. Okay, that is something that I really tried to do on purpose because it can be hard to see in the book. And so I'm going to show the fabrics for every block because I've kind of thought that might be one thing that's helpful about the video. Debbie says, I'm not sure I'd know which fabrics to use if you hadn't shown us. Is that info somewhere in the book. It's not. I'm just grabbing it from the pictures. So I'm just looking at the pictures and I'm pulling the fabrics that are used in each block. However, you guys don't have to follow exactly what's in the book. If you want to do your own thing, then totally do your own thing, do like a different version, absolutely. But if you're going to make it the same way as in the book, which I am, then I'll show you the fabric for that before each block. Stitching Granny of 17, I just finished making some design boards, now looking at making a pillow from one of my orphan blocks. That would be awesome. Be sure you share it. Love the vintage so long, especially the insight into some of the blocks. Oh, good, Morgan. Thank you. Any way you choose to do it, it's fine. We just love being up on everything. Oh, thank you, Lynn. My German Shepherd's name is Murphy. Oh, really? Yeah, we, and then Gail says showing the fabrics was helpful. Oh, good. We had a friend of ours, actually one of the NICU nurses who took care of our babies when the 4 of them were in the NICU after they were born. She got suddenly very sick, and she has a lot of dogs. And she was very, very sick for a long time. And her family contacted us and asked us if we would take a couple of her dogs to take care of them while she couldn't. And so we had some kind of foster dogs for a while. And one of them's name was Murphy, and it was a little Yorkie. And the other one was like a poodle mix of some sort. I can't remember. And her name was Reagan. And they were both the sweetest dogs. And my kids loved having them. So when my kids were little, we had a corgi named Jersey. And so my husband and I had Jersey for years before we had kids. And then we had Jersey, with our 5 kids when they were little. And then Jersey passed away, which was very, very sad. And then a few years after that, we took these foster dogs in to help out my friend. And the kids loved them. And then I think that's what prompted them to ask for another dog. And so that's how Henry came to be with us a few Christmases ago. Elizabeth, I'm not doing this so long, but I like the video. Oh, good, Elizabeth. Hello, Tammy. Thanks for jumping on. Okay, so I have a lot of stuff to share with you guys, as I always do. I can always seem to find fun, stitchy things that I get excited about to share with you. So invoices have all been sent for all of the monthly things. I have a corgi too, Cooper. My noisemaker dogs are the best. Dogs are the best. Jersey was such a quirky dog, but she was like we just all had a soft spot in our heart for her. She was just a high maintenance dog. Like, she was very scared of so many things. Every time we opened the dishwasher, she would like attack the dishwasher, and then we would vacuum and she would attack the vacuum. And one time she was riding with one of my sisters on a road trip that we were taking, and it started to rain, and my sister turned on the windshield wipers, and Jersey started attacking the windshield. She was like, "Arr!" And then she'd follow the windshield wipers over the other side. My sister was like, "Oh my gosh, what is going on with this dog?" So little by little, we found out along the way that she had all of these phobias, it seemed. And then she was allergic to bees. One time she got stung, and her snout I have hair in my mouth, just swelled up like crazy. And she was like, couldn't breathe. We had to take her to the vet. Oh my gosh. She just had so many things that happened. Oh, I'm at the Philadelphia Zoo with my grandkids. I can't stay on. Wanted to say hi to everyone. I will watch the replay. Have fun. Enjoy your time, Tammy. Soak up that time with those grandkids. Attacks a vacuum too. He might have to learn the hard way. I know. Jersey was always attacking stuff. She was just afraid of things. I don't know. Okay, so let me tell you, invoices for everything have been sent. Email, if you are signing up for one of your first stitch longs or sew longs with us, I think the only thing is stitch longs right now, then be sure to check your junk folder. Sometimes it goes to your junk folder. So if you're not seeing an invoice in your inbox and you're expecting one, then check your junk folder. So all of the invoices got sent. That was such a big job this last weekend, and my husband helped. I was so overwhelmed with how much stuff I had to get done, and he was like, how can I help? And I said, if you could do invoices, that would help, but it's really complicated and I'm not sure you're going to be able to do it. And so I was trying to go through with him how to do it. And the whole time he was just sitting there and he was just kept shaking his head, like his mouth dropped open and he was just like, oh my gosh. I said, you don't think that you could do it? And he goes, well, I think that I could, but are you going to be here so that I can ask you questions along the way? So he helped with a lot of the invoices. He didn't send out all of them, but he did send out a chunk of them. And he did a good job. And so he might have a new job every month. We'll see. If Lori jumps on, my BFF know he said hello. Will do, Tammy. I made it. Hope I didn't miss much so far. You did not, Blanca. I just showed my dog Henry with his new tie. He will appreciate you more. Yeah, so he was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, I know, but it needs to be done. And I don't have a lot of time. So because he helped with that, I was able to get the rest of my vintage Christmas blocks done. And we were able to get that posted, instead of it still not being done. So it was huge help. It was like really, really helpful to have that done. So invoices are all sent out. Let's see. What else? Today we're going to start with stitching. I have some fun things to share with you for stitching. Hello, April. Yes, you missed Henry, but you can watch later. He had a little tie on. He got groomed yesterday. Okay, I was going to go into my evolution of parenting story, but I don't think I'm going to do that today. We'll save it for another day because I have lots of stitching stuff to share with you. First of all, thank you, Brandy. First of all, let me show you. It's got stuff on it. Ta-da! Ta-da! Look, I found a frame that it fits in. Do you have any Stitch Mania plans? I don't, Brandy. Here are my Stitch Mania plans. Actually, I do kind of loosely have Stitch Mania plans. I am not going to start a new stitch every day. I started like 4 stitches a week last year, and I have not touched them since. And so my goal for Mania is going to be to pick up some of those whips that I have going on and try to stitch a little bit on them. Like every day, just try to get one of them and stitch a little bit on each one. So that's my hope. But no, with everything that's going on, I just could not commit to Stitch Mania this year. So I'm not doing it. But I am going to try to work on whips from last year. Yeah, so this is Shine On. I found a frame that it fits in, and I have linked it below in the description if there is anybody out there who is looking for a frame that it fits good in. The frame that Camille used was a little bit small, I want to say somebody said, or she said that. I can't remember. It was a little bit off in size. And so I found this one on Amazon and decided to give it a try and see if the sizing would work. And it does. I haven't I was hoping to get this done today to share with you. And then I didn't get it done. And so I just kind of shoved it in there. So it's not really finished yet. And the only thing that I will say, maybe this will improve when I actually finish it correctly, but it is a little bit hard. It's not a very deep frame. And so it is a little bit hard to put the back on once you have the other thing, the picture mounted in there. So I'm going to see if that improves. Otherwise, you can always not put the back on and just put some clips or something in there to hold your stitch in place and just have the back open. That's totally fine. And the other thing that I will share with you about this, I didn't have a mounting board that was going to be the right size. I had an 11 by 14, which was going to be too small. I think the size of this frame is 13 by 16 or something like that. So the finish I would have needed a mounting board that was about 13 by 16. But this frame did come with a mat. And so that mat is, maybe a little bit thinner than a mounting board. And then of course it has the hole in the center. So I took a mounting board and I put it over the hole in the center and used the mat as, put some batting over it to cover it all up before I put my stitch on there, but I used the mat as my mount for this. So there you go. But the frame is listed below. I know some of you were looking for a frame that fit the stitch better, and I listed the frame below. I stitched mine on 25 count Lugana, so that's the size that you would need for a 25 count Lugana stitch for Shine On. I was going to put it behind me, but I don't think I can. So Shine On is done. I have to work on it a little bit, and then I'll be able to hang it up. So I'm excited about that. Looks great, gorgeous. Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, thank you. So bright and cheerful. I need to start that. Yours looks fabulous. It was a fun stitch, Jody. I really enjoyed it. Beautiful. Can't wait to start mine in Stitch Mania. Oh, good, Martha. It looks amazing, says Mickey. Thank you. I really did enjoy that. I didn't try to do a bunch all at once, which I think helped. Like, it didn't become overwhelming. It became more of, I want to stitch on, Shine On a little bit. And so I would grab it, and the colors are just so vibrant and so pretty. You can't help but be happy when you're stitching that thing. And so it really became like even a break from some of the other stitch alongs that I was doing. Once I could get to Shine On, I would just be like, whew, it kind of was a release to stitch it. So it really was an enjoyable stitch. I did enjoy it. And I liked doing it little by little. I feel like that was a good approach for that. Okay, then we are in the midst of a lot of stitch alongs. Here we go. First up, we are stitching Spooky Hollow by Little Stitch Girl. We are moving on to chart 9, which means 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 4 months left, and then this one is going to be in the books. And I started this stitch along, and I have fallen off alongside the road. I couldn't keep up with everything else that was going on. So Sherry says, I'm enjoying my Shine On stitch too. Very behind, but loving it. Good. Just enjoy it and soak it up while you're stitching it. Don't worry about being behind. So I am enjoying seeing some of everybody else's finishes too. This is a really darling series. And this one is called Barber Shop. And that's chart number 9 in the series. And that's what we're stitching in May. When I say we, I mean you. And then we are moving on to our next quarter of stitch cards by Lori Holt. This is stitch card set B. And this is one of the things that I'm itching to do. Right now, I'm going through a little bit of a funky period with my crafting. And I have a real strong urge to do certain things, but not as much motivation to do some other things. And this is one of the things that is really pulling me towards wanting to do it. I want to make more pillows. So we're moving on to this one. This is for May. We're starting this in May. The first one that we're going to be working on is chart number 5, which is the corn and tomatoes chart up here in the corner. So that's one we're doing for May. And then we're turning them into these cute pillows. And let's see, this was month 1, the little chick. And I enjoy this as much as I enjoy the front. The fabric on the back, I love it. We also did the little tulips. And we did the little basket of flowers. This one turned out to be a little bit of a runt in the litter of my first set of pillows. I think I made an error with the cutting, so it turned out a little bit smaller. And then this is the last one. And this one I think turned out the best of all of them, actually. Yeah, I like this one. And that's the fabric on the back. I love making these little pillows. Some of them I don't feel like I put enough stuffing in, but this one I think I put a good amount in, so I love it. It's just the perfect amount of stuffing. So we're moving on to those in May. I'm excited. What size are the circles on the Dresden quilt behind you? Sue? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I would have to measure it. The Dresden ruler that I used for it is by Creative Grids, and it comes with a circle in the ruler set. It's a, pie-shaped ruler and then, or a Dresden ruler, and then the circle that comes with it. But the circle was a little bit smaller. So I wanted to find a circle appropriately showed the pictures that I wanted to show, but have it be consistent throughout the whole quilt. So I may have used like a glass. Like I think I went through the house trying to find the perfect circle size for that. So I would have to measure it. I'm not exactly sure what size it is. I caught up a few days ago with the stitch cards. I will do cards at sea so I can display them for the spring and summer. Awesome, Martha. Those are darling. I love a good basket of pillows. I know. Now I really want to find a display thing. And I have kind of a particular thing I'm looking for in mind. And so like I will not be likely to find it. Yeah, they are probably bigger than the 3.5. Is that the size that comes in the ruler set? If that's the size, Sue, that comes in the ruler set, then yes, it is bigger than that because that circle was not big enough for the pictures that I wanted to show. So I for sure did a bigger size. I just don't know exactly what size it is. So I'd have to look that up, or I'd have to measure it. Let's see. We are also moving on to our last Truckin' Along chart. This is by Stitching with the Housewives, and we're doing Truckin' Along in May. And this is the last one. And then this stitch along is going to be finished. But Calendar Crates is starting in June. And so if you love the Stitching with the Housewives series and you want to join us for Calendar Crates, be sure you get your reservation in, because I will be ordering probably in early May, and then I'll have to cap that reservation. So let me see. We are also doing, let's see, Early Americans. We are moving on to Freedom. This is the center chart. If you're stitching them all as one, this will be the center chart. This is by Little House Needleworks for our Early Americans stitch along. I didn't get much stitching done this week, but I did make a little bit of progress on Early Americans. Gives me a reason to finally stitch the stitch cards. Yes, you totally should stitch those stitch cards. They are so much fun. I don't know what it is. I think it's, I mean, first of all, they're cute, but number two, it's just a quick finish. Like there's something very satisfying about it that you can just stitch it up quick, put it into a pillow quick. It doesn't take a long time at all. And you've got to finish. It's like very satisfying. You can just do it lickety split and you finish something. So there's something that's really satisfying about it. Okay, so I still have a lot to go on Nathan Hale. And I was stitching like crazy the other night, okay? So I'm stitching Nathan Hale, which is this one right here. And I was stitching. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get these stitch alongs done by the end of the month. I'm stitching like crazy. And I do this part down here, which it kind of looks like a bridge, right? Like I don't know. It looks like a bridge, but now that I'm looking at it, I don't know what it is. Is it a bridge? Is it just a walkway to the house, but it looks rounded, but it wouldn't make sense for a house to be sitting on a bridge? Anyway, so I pulled this color out, and warning for those of you who haven't stitched this yet, the symbol for all of this grass here that is supposed to be happening is very similar to another symbol on the chart. So let me tell you, English ivy and wagon wheel are very similar symbols. And apparently, as we have been discussing lately, my eyesight is not fabulous. My doctor just said that I need bifocals, and I told him that I don't, and that I'm not going to get them. And so I picked the wrong color because I thought it was the wagon wheel symbol, when in actuality, it was the English ivy symbol. So this is supposed to be grass, I think, and it's more brown. And I'm going to leave it. I'm not pulling it out. My husband was like, "Are you gonna pull it out?" I was like, "I'm not pulling it out." I mean, if this was 1776, maybe they didn't have grass. Maybe they just had like a dirt lawn in front. I'm going with that. I'm going with the fact that Nathan Hale didn't have a grass lawn. So it's going to be brown. Or it was a really hot summer. Like maybe July 4th, 1776 was insanely hot and dry. There could have been a drought that year. I'm not sure. And so the lawn is a little bit brown. They didn't have sprinklers. Nathan was very conservative, and so he wasn't going to have a sprinkler system. Kim says, it looks fantastic. That is a lot of house, says Sharon. For some reason, he took a while. I know, it did kind of take a while, right, Laura? I'm feeling the same way. And so I really would like to get this done. I had to use a magnifier to see the difference. Okay, it's not just me. I don't need bifocals. It's a thing. Those symbols were very similar. The grass is dying, Brandy. Yes. I did that with English Ivy too. See, it's not just me, Jeanette. It just looks rustic. It didn't, yeah, I don't think it looks that bad. You know, like I didn't think it looked that bad. And I did look on the front, and even on the front, I mean, they use Classic Colorworks, so there's some variegation in there, but it's not like a bright green. It's kind of a brownish, like dark green. Looks fine, says Laura. It happens to the best with Angela. Get progressive no line bifocals. No one will be able to tell. But I think that I will have a hard time adjusting to them. I'm not a vain person, so I don't really care about how they look. I do think that I'm just, you know, being in your 20s and needing bifocals, that seems ludicrous to me. It's more that. It's more that I'm really young and I don't need bifocals. It's not so much how they'll look. I don't care about that. Looks like my lawn in 2021. I know it's kind of dry here too. It's not a mistake. I did it on purpose. I chose that color on purpose. I wouldn't have even noticed. It could be a brick courtyard. It totally could be. Leave it. No need to undo it. Yes, I'm totally not undoing it. Oh my gosh. Looks good. Thank you, Sharon. I say embrace the dirt yard. Plus, I like the idea of leaving in a few mistakes. It's what makes us human. I like it. So true, Kim. Hot summer with water conservation. No sprinklers. Funny, but real. It is real. Absolutely. There was a tiny symbol in the middle of the dot. I caught it before I stitched. Yes, one has just a white dot in the middle and the other one has an 8. It's like an 8 in the middle. A draw. Yes. So that's my Nathan Hale. Just beware for those of you when you get to the grass, if you haven't already gotten that far, learn from me and pay close attention to the symbols because they're kind of close in appearance, and so don't get thrown off. So that's where I am with my early Americans. I need to put that over there really quick, and then I'm going to get this out of the way. This is going to be going away. This is our spring gathering, April Stitch of the Month, Stitch Spotlight by Scattered Seed Samplers, and it's going to be going in the filing cabinet pretty soon. So if anybody wants one of these kits, try to get one today or tomorrow, because then it's going to go away. And I am debating about May. I have to figure that out. There will either be a Stitch Spotlight for May or there won't be. It'll be one of those two things. Okay, then we're also doing Glitter Village. This is by Country Cottage Needleworks, and we are moving on to Glitter House 5 in this series. And my mom stitched this up. She went through all of her Stardust sparkly fabric that came for the stitch long, and she switched to a different fabric for this one. So this is Cafe au Lait that she's stitching on this one, and looks good. I like it. So that's her Glitter House 5. She didn't want to wait around for me to try to track down Stardust, so she just picked up some that she had in her stash and she stitched it on that. She's happy with it. Love that glitter house, says Sharon, so much. I know it's really cute. So this is the church for the village. Looks pretty cute. Love the church, says Kim. Oh, I like that on the fabric. Yeah, Cafe au lait is a really great fabric I have a hard time not leaning towards that for nearly every background because it's got a little bit of modeling to it and it's really, subtle, like not too subtle enough that you can see it, but not overwhelming. I think it's really good. It works for so many different patterns. It really does. Okay, and then we are doing Snow Village. We are moving on to Peppermint Parlor for our Snow Village series. And you guys, I'm like hanging on to the tailgate of the pickup truck, trying not to fall off onto the side of the road for this stitch along. I have just fallen so far behind. I love it, but I think I've bitten off more than I can chew. So I'm still on last month's. I didn't even do April. This is from March. So I'm still on March. Didn't even do April, and now we're moving on to May. Maybe this will be a focus during Mania. I don't know. We'll have to see. There's just a lot happening. So I apologize if I'm not keeping up with stitch alongs. I hope that doesn't deter any of you guys from just, staying on top of it and plugging away with it. I have to get caught up on some stuff and get back with it a little bit. There's too many other things that are happening. Trish T, is that a fabric flare? Yes. Cafe au lait is fabric flare, is done by Fabric Flare. Yep, I love it. Beautiful job on the church. That set is on my list. It's so cute. And we are now selling the set as a complete bundle. So Glitter Village series bundle is available in the shop, as is Early Americans series bundle. Yeah, that gray fabric is really pretty. I've been wanting to stitch on that Snow Village gray fabric for a long time. And so the name of it is Rain, and it's by Wichell, and it's gorgeous. It's soft. So when stitching in hand, that's a little bit something that has thrown me off a little bit, and I need to get used to that, but it's beautiful. It is beautiful. I started the Snow Village working on the snowflakes for sale, and it's beautiful. I hope to finish it. I just want to keep going with it. I'm just so short on time. I think that's the biggest problem. I haven't finished March either or started April. May's arrived today. I'm okay with being super behind. Okay. You and I will be behind together, Brandy. Love that you are doing bundles. Yes. And so that's my hope, is that, as we do these stitch alongs, then I will offer them as bundles, because so many people maybe come a little bit later to the game and they say, oh, I didn't know you were doing this stitch along. So then they can just buy a bundle and they can, or oftentimes I get them caught up and, send them an invoice for whatever months they've missed. And then they can be on track for continuing along with us, because some people like to stitch along with us. Okay. And then let me show you. I think I have not gotten any further on this one, but I did finish. We're going to be finishing this one. This is Sew by Row by Lori Holt. This is our last month. Here's the chart. This is our last month. We are on that bottom row. We're doing all those little bundles of fabric. And this is where I am so far. So I did the spools. I just need to sew up those bundles. And then this one will be ready to finish. It's so cute. I'm glad that we kind of meandered our way through this stitch along. Made it feel more manageable to me, and I really, really liked it. Sherry, going to pick up my Snow Village again once summer hits and it's unbearably hot and humid outside. That's true. Sometimes it is nice to stitch things in off seasons. Although sometimes, like when fall comes, I get really in the mood to stitch fall stuff. And the same thing around Christmas time. I get really anxious, like I want to stitch Christmassy stuff. And then after Christmas, all of that winter stuff goes away, because then I'm ready for winter to be done. Sombrero is adorable, says Sharon. You should stitch it, Sharon, because you're making the quilt, aren't you? And then we are doing Cottage of the Month, and I forgot to pull mine to share with you, but we are moving on to June Cottage of the Month this month. That way you can stitch it up in May and have it ready to display in June. These are so fun. I loved stitching these. I really looked forward to those every month. We are also starting June for Sampler of the Month by Country Cottage Needleworks. I am stitching it, but I'm still on the sewing machines. Oh, those sewing machines did take a little bit of time. See, I'm not the only one who's behind on some stuff. I'm doing Sombrero Quilt, but already behind. Can't wait for retirement, right? It's just time. It's like finding the time that you need to do all of the things that you want to do. That's what I'm having a hard time with right now. So Sampler of the Month, June. This one is super cute. It's got little watermelons and stuff like that. This one just arrived. And so for those of you, if you were like, why hasn't mine shipped yet? I got all of the invoices that were paid. I shipped them out yesterday. This week has been crazy. I think the mail people are a little bit frustrated with me actually, because we've had so many packages to ship on Monday, Tuesday, and yesterday. We just had a ton of stuff to ship, which is a great thing. It's awesome. But this didn't arrive as soon as it was supposed to arrive. So it just arrived yesterday. And then I went like crazy to get all the orders out that had been paid for that included Sampler of the Month chart. They all got out yesterday. So that's good. I'm all caught up on invoices that were paid and needed to be shipped. Everything has been caught up on. This is another one that I still have some work to do on. Oh no. Where'd it go? My gosh, my scissors took my needle minder magnet hostage. I found it though. I got it back. Don't worry. Ooh, there we go. There. So this is my Sampler of the Month, May. This is by Country Cottage Needleworks. This is how far I am so far. These seem to go pretty quickly. So I feel like if I got a good chunk of stitching time in, I could crank this out in a pretty good amount of time. So I'm hoping to get caught up with that, especially because I have a frame that I can put it in when I'm done. So I would like to get that done and then display it for May. I'm doing the finishing on my May sampler and Cottage of the Month as we speak. I can't wait to see it, Mickey. And then we have two new ones that we are starting this month. The first one is Main Street Flower Shop. We're starting the Main Street series, and I'm super excited about this. If anybody wants to join this one, I believe we have one opening available out on the website. So you can go and submit your reservation. We have one opening available, I think. Maybe there are two. I can't remember, but there's one for sure. Are you selling the frames? I am not selling the frames, no. But there is a person on Etsy. The name of that store is called Cheeky Sheep. Cheeky, Cheeky, Sheep, Sheep. And they have fabulous frames and really reasonably priced. And so, Valeria, I would check that out because they do a great job. And that's the frame that I got. Look, that's the one I got for this. They're really good. They're good frames. Glass in the front. Little dowel if you want to set it. Look, I can show you the back. Cheeky Sheep. That's the name of it. There we go. So I bought all the supplies for Main Street before I knew you were doing so long. No, absolutely, Mickey. Stitch with us, please. We would love to have you. Yeah, you can always check out Hobby Lobby, Michael's, those types of places. They can frame stuff like that for you too. Stacy says, like he doesn't know it's Thursday. Anyhow, did I miss the flea market info? No. What flea market info? What do you want to know, Stacy? So we have one opening with Main Street by Country Cottage Needleworks. If you want to join this stitch along, reserve your spot. No flea market. We're going to start that in June. I think I had to cap the reservations. So if you want to join that stitch along, we're doing the Flea Market Flowers stitch along by Lori Holt. We have a ton of people signed up. I kind of couldn't believe it. I was not expecting to have that kind of a turnout. So I was very surprised by that, but pleasantly surprised, like happy surprised, not like, oh my gosh, but really happy surprised. So we are starting the Flea Market Flowers stitch along. It's a cross stitch pattern by Lori Holt. That is going to start in June. I've already ordered all the stuff. It should be coming to me soon, I think. And you'll be invoiced for that at the end of May, and it'll ship out at the end of May, beginning of June. So that's where we're at with that. And I'm super excited about it too. And I will send out a schedule of what sections we're going to do, because remember, we're going to kind of take our time with it. Like we did Sew by Row and like we did Shine On. We're kind of, obviously you can go at your own pace and do whatever you want to, but if you want to stay in line with the stitch along, we're just going to take our time with it and go little by little. So that is coming. We're going to be starting that puppy in June, and I'm excited about it. Hi, Tammy. Nope, you didn't miss the invoice. It'll be coming around May 25th. I usually invoice the 25th of each month, or I try to do it right around there, or the Friday that falls closest to the 25th. And so next month, Flea Market Flowers cross stitch will be included with the May 25th invoices. I saw that the Lori Holt's Christmas quilt so long has started. I just got here and you've already probably updated everyone on future quilt kits. I'm hoping you'll have more. Yes, I haven't talked about that yet, but we're going to talk about it in just a second. So first of all, this is the last stitch along that we are starting for May. Yeah, May. This is our Animal Stack stitch along by Plum Street Samplers, and we're starting with Sheep Heap first. My mom is sewing this series and Main Street with you guys, and so she took it and she's all excited to sew them. She said that these are really, really small, 54 by 93. Yeah. So I don't know if she's going to make them into little pillows or what she's going to do with them. We'll have to figure that out. But this will be another fun one to see you guys all stitch, because I think these charts are really cute. So we started that one in May as well. Okay. Are there still openings for that? I think so. Yeah, Kim, I believe that there are still openings for Flea Market Flowers, and you get to choose if you want to stitch on 14 count Ada or 25 count Lugana. So you can choose. And the reason that I did those two cloths is because that's what was recommended on the back of the chart. Those are the sizes that Lori recommends, and kind of designed it with those sizes in mind. So she offers 10 count as an option, 14 count or 25 count. So when we do stitch alongs, I try to stick as close to what the designer intended as possible. And so you can choose if you want to do 14 count Ada, if you're more comfortable stitching on that, or 25 count Lugana. And I believe there are still a few openings left in that. And if there aren't online, then contact me and let me know. And I can check my numbers and the quantities that I ordered and see if I have enough space for you. Yes. Yes, April. April says, will you sell the Flea Market Flowers cross stitch pattern on its own, not as part of a kit? Yes. Yes, I absolutely will. Yay, Kim. We chatted via email on Flea Market Flowers. I just wanted a chart and floss. No fabric. Did I need to do anything else for you online, or was the email? The email was enough. And I'm pretty sure that I put a note in my spreadsheet next to your name with those changes. So the biggest thing is that when you get your invoice, when I email the invoice at the end of next month, just make sure that the invoice reflects what you need. And if it doesn't, just contact me and I can change it. It's not a problem at all. But I usually put a note to remind me what to include in the invoice. And then the biggest thing, like the stopping point, is you verifying that what you're being invoiced for is correct. And if it's not, then just let me know and I can change it. So that should be good enough. Brandy, I remember putting a note in my spreadsheet for you. Okay, so those are all of our stitch alongs that we are in the midst of right now. And I'm super excited to start Flea Market Flowers. I have to get ahead of all the stuff that I have to do so that I can like enjoy it when we start it in June. And I think that could happen because I'll be finishing up Sew by Row. I just need to get ahead of the game a little bit. Okay. And then I got a bunch of new charts in the shop. So I'm going to go through that quick. That'll take care of the cross stitching side of things. And then we'll move on to quilting and I will give you an update about vintage Christmas kits. First of all, we had a restock of Madame Chantilly Celebrate 4th of July. I was out of stock for these and they are now back in stock. Perfect for summer stitching. This one was also out of stock. Celebrate Spring by Madame Chantilly. I love these tiered trays. They're so, so pretty. I still have hopes of doing them someday. If the shop grows to a point that other people can be managing the website and accounting and shipping and filling orders and inventory and all of those things, and I could just like sit around and get stuff done, get projects done, that would be lovely. So my hope is to get there someday. Running late. Hey, Jane. So glad you could get on. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay. And then I'm saving the stunning one for last. There is one chart that I received that I ordered that is stunning. And I can't remember if somebody asked for it. So pay attention if you asked for a chart, because I looked back and I couldn't find, it was another one of those things. So, but I have them they're in stock and they're on the website. Okay. The first one up is Simply Saying June by Little Stitch Girl. This is a new one in the shop. Here is another new one, Catherine Dickinson, 1840 by Scattered Seed Samplers. This was one of our Sampler Madness charts, competitors. And so I have it in the shop now, available to be ordered. Also by Scattered Seed Samplers, we have Mary Ratcliffe, 1848. This one was such a pretty one. Another sampler from Sampler Madness that's now in the shop. This one is Fall is in the Air Part 3 by Little House Needleworks. Beautiful, beautiful. This one is by the Scarlet House, and it's called Sarah Redfern, 1826. This was another one from our Sampler Madness. It's beautiful. And then this is the one that I think is stunning. And I feel like somebody asked me to get this. It's called Let Freedom Ring, and it's by Lila's Studio. It is a beautiful, beautiful. I mean, oh my gosh, look at this. Look at that. I just cannot believe it. It's a large one, 311 by 238 stitches, stitched on 35 count. It finishes at 35 count at 18 1/8 by 13 3/8. It's beautiful. It is so, so pretty. It's called Let Freedom Ring, and it's by Lila Studio. I love this. I mean, look at the little carriage with the horse and the Liberty Bell. It says proclaim liberty throughout all the land. Independence Hall, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, United States. Let freedom ring. 4th of July, Independence Day. It's beautiful. Okay, I gotta stop drooling over that one. That one is gorgeous. I mean, I know it would be one that you would just have to go into knowing that it's going to take years likely to finish, and you're just going to have to keep plugging away at it little by little. But oh my gosh, I mean, It would just be gorgeous. When we went to Independence Hall, so we visited this on our camping trip through history. So we went to, we took the kids camping. We went to Gettysburg and Hershey, Pennsylvania, and Philadelphia, and then Washington, D.C. And we sat and had a snack right there on those steps of Independence Hall, right there. We had a little snack right there. We did lots of snacks on that trip. So we were like shoving snacks in our kids all the time. So I could stitch this and then I could say, we had a snack right there and some juice boxes probably. Right? It's so pretty. It's lovely. Every motif is a finish. Yay. Yes. It's so yes, just little by little. Everything would be like, yay, I finished that part. Okay. Let's see. I think let me give you an update. So I reached out. I've been trying to track down our Sampler Madness winner was Elizabeth Cligg that we're going to do a stitch along for at some point. It might not be till next year because our stitch along schedule is getting pretty full for this year. And so I've been trying to track that down. The latest that I heard from the owner of the chart is that she doesn't offer it to any shops. It's not available to shops. So I'm kind of working with her through that. So I'm just giving you guys a heads up that if I can't get that chart, then I will likely work my way backwards to the runner up, which was Janet Irving, and see if I can get that chart. So the sampler that we actually end up doing could depend a little bit on if it's available for me to get or not. So that's the story with that. I'm going to see, how this Elizabeth Cligg one turns out. And then I've already reached out to the Janet Irving person. That one is gorgeous too. And she said, yes, it's no problem. So if Elizabeth Cligg doesn't work out, then we'll do Janet Irving. So I just wanted to update you guys on that. And I'll put a reservation out there once I have everything ironed out and figured out. Wish list feature on the website. Oh, good. Good. I'm glad. Yes, please use it because it's been out there for a little bit. Kelly actually recommended that. She had asked for a wish list feature to be put out there maybe in December or something. Like I had asked a question during one of the live streams, what would you like to see different or included or, an improvement for the website? And that was a suggestion that Kelly made, and it was a great suggestion. So good. Please use it because if I'm paying for it, then I want it to be used. So please utilize it. And I'm glad that you like it and hopefully it's helpful. Okay, let's talk about Vintage Christmas because I know you guys are anxious for updates, especially now that the So Long has started. It's kind of bugging me that I don't have kits to everybody yet. And the So Long is kicking off because I want all of you to sew along with us. So here's the update. I heard from Riley Blake Designs this week, I think Monday or something like that. And the 2 bolts that I am missing that were back ordered are due to arrive to Riley Blake Designs next week. I'm at the top of the list for them to ship it out. So, so they should ship it to me hopefully right away. I could maybe get them at the end of next week. I think it's more likely that I'll get them Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of the following week. So as soon as those get to me, then I will be able to finish the kits that I'm holding on to. So the first batch of kits went out, the first batch that I sent out, those have all already been shipped. For those that have been shipped, you are due 2 fat quarters from these bolts that I'm supposed to be getting next week or the following week. So I will include those. I will likely include them with your end of the month shipping stuff if I can, because you're not going to need them before the end of the month. You're not even going to probably need them next month. So I'll likely include them with the end of the month shipping for those of you who have already received your kits. For those of you who have not received your kits, the reason that I haven't sent those out or invoiced anybody for them is because I knew that these 2 bolts were coming sooner rather than later. And so since they're going to be here next week or the following week, then I can ship you your complete kit and not have to ship you anything else separately. So my hope is probably not next week, but probably the following week to start to be able to be in touch with people, send out invoices to you, start shipping out your kits. So we're about probably 2 weeks out from today before you'll start hearing from me, but it's coming. It's coming. I already have another whole batch cut up. All I have to do is cut up those 2 other fat quarters, add them to the batch, and then get them out. And then I'll start, cutting up as many as I possibly can. So our list keeps growing. More and more people keep reaching out and saying, can I be added to your vintage Christmas wait along list? We have so many people who, especially since the YouTube video went out there, so many people have reached out. I just keep adding people. And my hope is to be able to fulfill all of your kits. That's my hope. Even if I have to order a little bit more fabric, I will be able to do that. But I'm going to go through all the fabric that I have and get as many of you kits as I can. And I'm hopeful, I'm very hopeful that everybody will get a kit. I can't guarantee that. So don't take that as a guarantee, but I am hopeful. Better late than never. Just finished school with the boys. Hello, Erin. Great feature to add a few more things to my cart before checking out. Good. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the wish list feature. So that's the update for Vintage Christmas. I should be able to be in touch with you within a couple weeks about those people who are on the waiting list. So I hope that that helps with your planning. And then you won't be too far behind because we'll only be on, month 2. I'm hoping to post soon, like right away at the beginning of May. And then you really won't be too far behind. So if you get Lori Holt fabric, they will come. Well, this is such a cute, it's become kind of a classic quilt. I mean, you show a block and people are going to be like, oh, that's Vintage Christmas. People just know. It's kind of become an instant classic, like an ESPN instant classic. So I shared these on the YouTube video, which is out there for month 1. This is the first block that we did, the Away in the Manger block. And I will tell you, this first block, the teeny tiny piecing threw me off. It threw a little curveball at me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I had a small panic attack. Like, am I going to be able to make all these blocks? Because it took a minute to kind of wrap my head around it. But I will tell you, once I did the candy cane block, which is right here, I was like, okay, all right, I can do this. I've got this. That's what I was thinking. I was like totally having a pep talk with myself as I was making these blocks. So the Away in the Manger block kind of threw a curveball at me. This one, I was like, okay, I think I can do this. And then this one, which is the candy swirl block, I was like, oh, this one is super cute. And it was easy to piece. It was not troublesome. So it's gotten better for me as I've gone along. This one was a little more challenging, but it still came together okay. I think it looks fine. And remember, once you get it in your finished quilt and it's all quilted, any little issues that you might notice on the block level isn't going to be noticeable on the quilt level. And then this one I thought turned out super cute. And now at this point in my sewing, I'm now like anxious to sew more, right? So I kept going and I put this one together, which was super fun. And now I'm like, I can't wait to sew more of those little blocks. It's kind of like the teeny tiny pillows. Like I really want to make more of them. So don't be deterred is what I'm trying to tell you. Don't be thrown off course and like, go down the rabbit hole of thinking you're not going to enjoy it. Like it's fun. These blocks are adorable. They're fun blocks. And yes, the piecing is smaller, but it's manageable. And once you settle into it, it turns out to be a lot of fun. This one may be my most favorite block so far. I love the scrappiness. I love scrappy, but I'm kind of scared of scrappy too. So I hope to get more comfortable with scrappiness. I would love to do more scrappy quilts because I love scrappy, but it kind of scares me a little bit. And then the little girl. And this one I was scared about because there were so many steps to it. But look, It came together and she's just cute as can be. Oh, well, maybe her waistband might be off a little bit, but she's still cute. I love it. These are a lot of fun. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. Don't be thrown off by the smaller blocks. It's a lot of fun. I love that one too. Looks great, Angela. Aw, I'm too color in the lines. I know. I think that's my problem, April. I think that my type A personality is like, how does one do that without like a plan? Like, okay, that's a really cute scrappy quilt. What was your plan going into it? And tell me all about that. And then I can wrap my head around it. And when, you know, you see somebody just pulling fabrics and putting it together, it's like, oh, it hurts my head. You know what I mean? And so I think that's my problem with scrappy quilts, is that I'm too much of a type A personality to really jump into the deep end with that. But it's something that I want to get better with because I love the look of scrappy quilts. I can't wait to dive into it this weekend. Yay, Kim! I can't wait to see it. See, April, I'm the same way. It's like, that's a beautiful quilt, but I need to know all the details and planning that went into it. So then I can formulate my own plan and make a beautiful scrappy quilt as well. But that's not the idea behind scrappy. And so I need to wrap my head around that. Okay, so that's our update for Vintage Christmas. I'm so excited about this one, you guys. It's going to be so much fun. And I think that these blocks are going to go a lot faster than we think they're going to go. Because already I'm done with 8 blocks, and I just started not that long ago. I mean, they're going together pretty quickly, so I'm kind of surprised about that. Okay, before I forget, I quilted those 2 quilts this weekend. So this bottom one is my mother and daughter quilt that I made like years ago. And it's from a fabric collection called Love is Spoken Here by Corey Dontini. I loved this collection when it was out. I thought it was gorgeous. And it has a mother-daughter theme to it, has a lot of uplifting words on it. I just thought it was gorgeous. And so I made this quilt, and finally I quilted it this last weekend. I have to share it with you because I loved it when it was pieced, but I love it even more now that it is quilted. So it has these panels. It's just a panel quilt. The Power of Ideas. You Are the Song in My Heart. And I just love how it turned out. I don't even know if you can see. It's got these like fancy little hearts all over it. I don't have it bound yet, but this, and it's quite large. My oldest daughter was like, "Oh, can I take that with me when I go to college?" She's already claimed it. But I love, love, love how it has turned out. Like really, really love it. Like one of those things I can't stop looking at it. I can't stop looking at it. I hang it up on the quilt ladder in our living room. I just moved it in here for you guys to see today. And I can't stop looking at it. I love it. You go, girl, with your long arm mastering bad self. Quilting a quilt brings it to life. It really does. Like, I'm kind of surprised by it. And my dad said to me the other day, he goes, boy, when you finish a quilt, it must be exhilarating to like have finished it and have accomplished it. I was like, yes, there's no feeling like it. Like, I can't explain how it feels. Now, I don't have it bound yet, so it's not fully finished. But once you get done binding it and you're putting those last stitches on the binding, it's like, oh, you know, like the choirs are singing. And it's just this amazing feeling to have finished a quilt, I think. And the quilting just really brings it to life. You said it exactly right, Sharon. So pretty is beautiful. They're beautiful, Angela. Pretty panels. And that runner is adorable. I love the quilting, the fabric, and everything about it. It just came together so nicely. I was super, super excited about it. It's like the clean, organized closet that you can't stop going back to look at. That's how I feel about it. I can't stop looking at it. I love the quilting. Oh, it's so pretty. How sweet. You're quilting. And that would be perfect, right? So she already claimed it. And I was like, okay, I can't make 3 of them because I only got enough fabric to make 1. And it might fit on a bed because I did make it bigger. I didn't follow the pattern. I wanted it to be bigger than the pattern said. So I added extra rows and columns to make it bigger. So it could go with her to college, but then she might need to turn it over to the next girl when she goes to college. And then she might need to turn it over to my youngest one when she goes to college. But it would be perfect. Yes, I agree. Because it is this mother-daughter quilt. I love it. Yeah, I love it. And then there's people like me that can't stand being boxed. It's totally a personality thing. It is a personality thing. I cried the first time I finished. See, you get it, Erin. I totally get it. And then I quilted this. I haven't bound it yet because I ran out of rickrack, but I have more on order. If anybody's looking for the sea glass rickrack, I have more on order. And the buttons have shipped, so they are in transit to me right now for those of you who are waiting for buttons. But this, I'm really excited about this one too. It took me a while to figure out what design I wanted to quilt on it. And then my favorite fabric is on the back. This is my favorite fabric from the flea market collection is this kitchen fabric. It's so pretty. So I'm excited about that too. And once I can get the rickrack in, then I can get the binding on, and the buttons are on the way to me, and then I can get those buttons on, and then that'll be done. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking for that quilt, Andrea. She said that would be a cool tradition, pass along the going to college quilt. So that's the only way that I can think of making it fair to each of them for that particular quilt, because they all, not my youngest one, but the older 2 love it. Yeah, so that's what I might do. Like you get it, you take it to college with you, and then it gets passed on to the next girl that's going to college. Yes. I'm stitching my seeds down as I watch. That brings me to the next thing. Flea market flea market table runner. This kit, I still have a few left in the shop. The tutorial on, and this was an actual tutorial, not just a sew along, an actual tutorial is on our YouTube channel. And I have all the goodies that you need in the shop to be able to make this, except for the rickrack, which I'm sold out of right now, but I'm getting more of. But this is a lot of fun. I love it. And they're all selling, which is crazy. I only have a few left. And so now I have the dilemma of, do I order more to sell, or do I call it quits and say that's that? I don't know. I posted this a few times on Instagram. This is our quilt-along schedule for current and upcoming quilt-alongs. We have a lot of stuff coming up, and I'm so excited about it. Excited about quilting so many things with you. So I've kind of been posting just one a day for that we still have openings in. Some of these are already full. Shine On is in progress. That's full and done. Oh Happy Day is in progress. That one is full. Vintage Christmas, you could be added to a waiting list if you want to join our Vintage Christmas quilt-along. Snowed In Quilt by Heather Peterson. That one is sold out right now. You can be put on a waiting list if you want to contact me about that. Guiding Stars Quilt-along by Fancy That Design House. She commented on our post yesterday. She's super excited about us doing the quilt-along, so that was exciting to see. And I still have openings in that because I just got more kits to open up more spots, or ordered more kits. So I have secured more kits to open up more spots. So for our Guiding Stars Quilt-along, there are spots open. You can reserve your kit out there. Roadside Harvest by Corey Yoder. That one still has openings. Granny's Teapots still has a few openings. I had to cap that because I had to order. So there might not be many openings left of that. Midnight Garden by Heather Peterson. That one still has openings because I haven't ordered that collection yet. And then the Dresden. So this is our Dresden Quilt-along quilt, except it'll be a different fabric collection. And that one still has openings because I haven't had to order this fabric collection yet. So please figure out which quilt-alongs you want to join in and join us for some fun quilting. After finishing your first quilt, I swear it's my birthday, maybe it takes forever to get to that point. Time to quilt it, you're scared to death, but once it's over, you're like, I did that. It might be crazy enough to do it again. Started. 1, I like the applique. Not hard if... Yes, Martha, thank you. I'm not lying. I'm honest. When I tell you, don't be afraid of applique. So many of you have said, okay, you've convinced me to give applique a try. And then I hear back from you and you say, I don't know what I was so afraid of, especially with this project, because it's smaller, so it's manageable. There's one shape, and so you don't have a bunch of crazy shapes that you have to worry about. So it's a very good beginner applique piece. And by the time you make all of those blocks of applique, you're going to feel pretty comfortable with it by the time you get to the end. So this, if you're thinking about applique, it adds a whole other dimension to your quilting arena, to your quilting arsenal. Like, it's a whole other skill that you can pull from. And this is the beginner project that will get you there. And as will this. So we're doing the Lori Holt So Simple Shapes remix. Every month she comes up with a new design. This was the month 1 design. I still have kits available in the shop, either fabric only kits or fabric and So Simple Shape kits. And you can do a little bit of applique each month. It's not overwhelming because it's a small project. It introduces different shapes, so you can improve your skills with sewing different shapes, a variety of shapes. And it's not overwhelming because it's just one small project each month. And you come, these cute things. I mean, look at this. When I did it, I was kind of like, wow, that's really cute. And I couldn't decide what I was going to do with it. I still haven't decided, which is why it's not finished yet. But when I showed it to my mom and my sister, and I said, I think I'm going to do a project bag with it. And they were like, what? That's beautiful. You should display that in your house somehow. Like, why don't turn it into a project bag that you're just going to like put a project in and put aside somewhere, but put it like in your house so that people can see it. And I thought, wow, I didn't realize that somebody else was going to think that it was kind of a neat thing. I thought I was all excited for myself and was like, oh, I really like this block. It's cool. I like it. But then when I shared it with somebody else and they were like, wow, that's really nice. That kind of made me look at it differently, that I wasn't looking at it that way before. And so I'm still trying to decide what to do with this one. But Lori Holt released her second month block. If I can find it. Yes, here it is. This is her second month block. This is block 2. The items are in transit to me, and then I will have kits ready, and I will be able to put them online, and you guys can get them and make this. Now for this block, I do have a plan for this one. And I'm hoping that it works out the way that I want it to work out. But it's super cute. I'm so excited about it. It's very, very cute. So this is block 2 for the So Simple Shapes remix by Lori Holt. And I ordered all the stuff that we need to make up kits for this. It's in transit to me. It should be here next week probably. And I'm hoping to be able to get it online by mid to late next week. So that's that. Also, before I forget, I got some of this thread gloss in the shop. I forgot to pull it to show you, and I'll try to pull it next week. But it's called So Fine Thread Gloss, and it's scented, or there is a natural scent, which is unscented, for your cross-stitching thread or your quilting thread. You can use it for both. And it helps to kind of condition your thread so that it doesn't fray, it doesn't break, and it has a nice scent to it. So I was asked to try to get some of this by a customer who was looking for it. And I got a bunch of different scents in. And so they're all listed in the shop. You just have to search for So Fine. Yes, Debbie, I will have the shapes too. So she used one from Prim, which if you're following along, you should already have the Prim set. So I won't include that as part of the kit option. You'll have the option to just get the fabric, or you'll have the option to get the fabric and the shapes together. I won't include Prim because she just used one shape from Prim in this block, but she used Autumn Love. And I've ordered a bunch of Autumn Love So Simple shapes. So yes, I will have that. And I will have all the fabric. Now I had to, the color for her pot, that fabric has been discontinued. So I couldn't get that, but I got a different fabric that is as close to that same color. It just has a different print on it, but the color is as close to that same color as I could possibly get. Everything else is the same, except for maybe the big green leaves. That was also from Autumn Love and is sold out and not available anymore. So I have substituted Flea Market Flowers C10 214 Clover because that is pretty close to the same color. So there had to be a couple fabric substitutions this month just because the fabric that she used is discontinued and can't be gotten anymore. But the colors are still as true to her design as I could possibly get. Debbie says, Lori's method makes it so easy and fun. I agree. I believe you. I practiced with Vintage Housewife before it came. Says Martha, I'm making mine into a small wall hanging. That's what I was thinking about for this one. But I'm holding out. I just can't commit to that quite yet. So remix block number 2, I should have kits ready, hopefully end of next week. That's my plan. Then we have some pillow kits in the shop. If you're looking for a cute Mother's Day gift, here is a mother pillow. This one was designed by Minky Kim for Riley Blake Designs. It's super cute. I have a few of those in the shop. And I also have the June pillow kit, which was designed by Beverly McCullough. So that is in the shop. And over the weekend, our Stitch Box went on sale that I'm collaborating with Beverly McCullough for. It's been selling like crazy. Oh my gosh, you guys. I continue to be surprised by the interest. Like it just surprises me. So that's super exciting. We doubled what we had done before. So when we did the cross stitch box with Bev, we did a smaller amount because I wasn't sure. It was kind of a large amount for us, but a smaller amount in general because I wasn't sure. And those sold within like a day. And so then we doubled it and we did double that amount. And those sold like crazy. And so this time for this box, I doubled the doubled amount from the first box. And they're selling like very quickly. So I'm excited about that. So thank you so much for your interest in that. And I'm excited to put that together and then get those to you guys. Okay. You guys, this is now listed in the shop. It's the Lori Holt ironing board cover. I have one left. So this is in the shop. Some of you guys have been asking, is that ironing board cover in the shop? It's listed in the shop now. I have one left. However, if you want one and it's not available in the shop, just let me know because I would be happy to reorder and I can definitely get more of those if there's an interest for it. But I don't want to get some if people don't want them. So, and then we've been receiving so many new things in the shop this week. Stuff is like starting to come in. Stuff that was due in March is starting to trickle in right now. And so I'm kind of excited to be getting some new stuff into the shop. It's very exciting. April, I just put mine on yesterday. Yay, I'm so glad. Okay, so first up, Beverly, since we're talking about Beverly McCullough Stardust Fat Quarter Bundles arrived yesterday. Look at this fabric. It's pretty cute. So the Fat Quarter Bundles arrived. For those of you who reserved it, invoices have been sent. Check your junk box if you don't have it. And for those of you who did not reserve one, check the shop because they are listed in the shop right now. They're under the pre-cuts section in the shop. And then the other big delivery that we got this week, Sunday Stroll by Bonnie and Camille, and it is so pretty. I shared a post this week. Oh, I should have pulled that fabric, but I didn't because the picture didn't do it justice. But there is a backing set for the Grace quilt kit. That fabric is gorgeous. And it has a different feel to it. It's like a buttery, silky feel. I can't even describe it, but it just feels really, really nice. And it was beautiful. Like I'm trying to think, what could I make that I could use this for a backing set because I love it. It's white and it has gray flowers. It's like, it has a grayish floral design on it. It's very, very pretty. So anyway, the Fat Quarter bundles have arrived. They are listed in the shop if you want a Sunday Stroll Fat Quarter bundle. Anybody who reserved a Fat Quarter bundle, the invoices have been sent. If you have paid your invoice, your Fat Quarter bundle is in the mail to you and it's on its way. So I'm completely caught up on orders. So if you have paid an invoice, it's been shipped. And then we also have a ton of Sunday Stroll pre-cuts. So I have a bunch of layer cakes in the shop. They are listed in the shop under the pre-cut section in the shop. I have a ton of charm packs. These are the 5-inch stackers. So I have a bunch of those. And back here is my mini charm jar. So I have a bunch of mini charms of Sunday Stroll in there. I also have some folktale mini charms left. Pretty soon, once I start to get spring chicken and what else is due? Crystal Lane. When I start to get that jar is going to be overflowing. So if you're looking for mini charms, come to Happy Little Stitch Shop and get your mini charms. And then finally, Sunday Stroll quilt kit has arrived in the shop. Here is the situation with this one. I sold through all of my reservations that I had available. So anybody who reserved this kit, invoices have been sent. Anybody who's paid it, it's been shipped. I have a few that have not paid yet, so be sure you check your junk folder if you can't find your invoice and contact me if you can't find it. Then I had people reaching out saying, are you going to be getting more? Are you going to be getting more? So I've secured more. I have not made them available online yet because I've had people reaching out to me behind the scenes to say, hey, can I get one of those kits from you? So I want to get those people their kits. So I've kind of been doing it on a 1-by-1 basis. But I do have more of these kits available, and I'm going to give, probably till later today for those people to secure their kits if they want to secure it. And then I'm going to put them online and open up the reservations again. The second batch of these have already shipped, so they should arrive to me next week. So they're going to be here pretty soon. So this is the Sunday Stroll kit by Bonnie and Camille, and it's super cute. And the backing set is also listed in the shop for this. It's also a very cute backing set. So that's it for Sunday Stroll. It is here. It has arrived. What else? I feel like that might be it. Remix, hopefully next week. Vintage Christmas should be coming in the next couple weeks. Sunday Stroll is here. Stardust is here. I think that's it. Now I got to pull. Okay. The prize from last week for the drawing, and then show the prize for this week. Does anybody have any questions? I feel like we had a lot of stuff to share and I didn't get to chat much with you guys, but I hope you're excited about all the stuff that's coming to Happy Little Stitch Shop. I'm pretty excited about it. Keep an eye out for Vintage Christmas month 2 for our sew along. I will post that hopefully sooner rather than later. And also Oh Happy Day month 3 will be posted sooner rather than later. So I'm excited about that. Okay, this was our drawing for last week. We're going to draw for this right now. I'm actually not going to draw. I just drew and I picked a winner. And the winner for this is Sharon Robinson. Congratulations, Sharon. Sharon, if you want to contact me, email me at happylittlestitchshop@gmail.com and claim your prize, and then I can get it out the door to you. And the question for this week is, what is your best vacation ever? The best vacation that you ever went on. Tell me about it. Where did you go? What did you do? What made it so special? What made it the best vacation ever? And the prize for next week's drawing is a little charm pack of this Toscana fabric. It's an assorted, I don't even know if it's a 5x5. It doesn't look like a 5x5. It's a 5x5. So it's a 5-inch charm pack. And you get all these different colors in here. So this is the prize for next week. And the question is best vacation ever. Please tell me about it. Please be sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You guys, we're almost at 2,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. So that's really, really exciting. So please be sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please be sure you follow us on Instagram or Facebook. Please give us a thumbs up. And thank you so much for supporting our Happy Little Stitch Shop community. Our family truly, truly appreciates it. I can't tell you guys that enough. Thank you for joining me each week. I can't tell you that enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope you have fun answering the question this week. I want to hear all about your vacation fun because we have not been on a vacation in so many years. So I want to live vicariously through you. So please tell me your vacation joys and let me bring me vacation joy through you. Have a great week, you guys. I will see you next week on Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here. Have a wonderful week and share all your stitching goodness. I love seeing your vintage Christmas blocks. Please use hashtag Happy Little Stitch Shop. Share, share, share so that I can see all of that stuff. Thank you so, so much for joining me. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy stitching. Take care, everybody.